Booktube. Booktube, I know this must look like a weird video, but I'm in a bird hide and I am sneaking up on two gray geese. Right, I think if, you can probably just see one through the slats there. I'm trying to film them without frightening them for you. So I've got to sneak up real carefully. So I'm just going to put the camera over the top here. Let's see if I can catch them just chilling. That's it. Hiya, Booktube. Welcome to our third meditation on the issue of books that we do not finish, and some ideas maybe for reducing that number. This time I'm going to get radical. I'm going to ask, what is so special about novels? Literature has always been more than novels, but you wouldn't really know that. It's not really represented that way on BookTube. And isn't that weird when you think about it? I mean, think about how popular shorter forms of videos are on YouTube and the whole, popularity of TikTok. Short really is attractive. So why isn't short fiction really doing much better on BookTube than novels? Well, that's what I'm going to suggest. I'm going to say, if you are struggling to finish books or you want to finish more, then dump the novel and switch to short stories. Here's why. Okay, reason one. Reason one is in the name, right? Short stories are short. Do you remember in the first do not finish video that I made such a big deal out of, commit to whatever you choose to read? Well, I mean, it's a totally different commitment, isn't it? 320 pages of a novel versus 11 pages of a short story, right? It's a no-brainer. Reason two. Okay, well, let's imagine, for example, that you get this book that I've put on screen here, the Penguin Book of Modern British Short Stories. Okay, so you read a couple of stories, let's say, and then life gets crazy, I don't know what happens. One of your kids is sick, I don't know. Or you start a new job and it's just a bit much, and so you just really don't feel like reading for maybe 2-3 months. Okay? Now if the book that you'd started was a novel, well, when you picked it up again you'd be thinking, do I remember what I read before? Do I really have to go back and reread again? What a waste of time having to tackle it again just so that I can be up to speed and carry on. Well, with short stories, no problem. Doesn't matter what went on before. That's before. You just pick up and you carry on with the next story. Reason three, you don't have to read a book of short stories in any order. Now, let's use this book as an example. This book has 434 pages and 34 stories. And if you work that out mathematically, that's an average of 13 pages per story. Now, the truth is that's not exactly how it works, because 21 of the 34 stories are less than 10 pages. It's like, yes! And then there's another, 8 stories. They're under 20 pages. And then you've just got 4 stories that go over 20 pages. Well, for a busy person, isn't this perfect? I mean, you can just schedule it to fit in with your life. So you read the shorter stories on more hectic days, and you leave the longer ones until you've got a bit more time. Reason 4, all the authors in this book are recognized already. That you don't get into an anthology of short stories if you haven't built up your reputation as an author, right? So these are the good authors. These are the ones that you might want to go out and read a novel. But you don't have to take a chance on a novel cold, right? These short stories are effectively little taster samples of how these writers write and what they tend to like to write about, so that you'll have a good idea when you finished it which authors you're most attracted to and you'd want to see more of their work. You can just, read a few short stories and then you know exactly where you are. It's perfect. Okay, so that just leaves the question of where do you get short stories? If you want a paperback anthology like the one I've been just talking about, then I would recommend going online, right? Because for some reason, mysterious reason, short fiction doesn't sell. And so a larger bookstore might carry a couple of anthologies, but a smaller one maybe not at all. I know, baffles me too, absolutely. But you don't have to pay for any short stories. That's why I have put this snapshot on screen. Go to Project Gutenberg, type short stories in the search window, and oh my word, the number of options that will suddenly come up for you. Because of course, what you might not know if you were born, say, after 1979, is that short stories used to be a thing. They really did. Magazines were available that did short fiction every year. Several different writerly bodies, again, or magazines would publish anthologies of short stories that had proved really popular. It was just so much more of a way of reading than it seems to be now. I've also added a couple of websites in the description box below this video, so check those out too if you're interested. If you do want an ebook anthology, then definitely shop around, because it tends to be the sort of thing that unexpectedly goes on special offer. So I've found that if I'm just sort of circulating and moving through Amazon or something, I'll find a 99 pence, 99-cent bargain. So yeah, look for those, definitely. And that's it for part 3 of these DNF meditations. Now, in the next and final episode, I just want to consider whether one of your all-time favorite books is actually one that you did not finish. Look forward to seeing you then. Okay, bye-bye.